Picture this, a quiet Friday, July 11th, 2025. The sun rises over peaceful neighborhoods and most Americans are easing into the weekend, thinking about barbecues, family plans, and summer getaways. But as the day unfolds, a seismic announcement from the White House jolts the nation and its neighbor to the north. President Donald Trump, never one to shy away from controversy, drops a bombshell, a sweeping 35% tariff on nearly all Canadian imports. The news flashes across every screen, catching business leaders, politicians, and everyday citizens off guard. This isn't a minor tweak to trade policy, it's a direct hit on everything from iconic maple syrup and softwood lumber to steel, aluminum, and even everyday groceries. The message is clear: no Canadian export is safe from this sweeping measure. Trump makes the announcement with his trademark flair, a formal letter addressed to Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, and a fiery post on Truth Social that instantly goes viral. The world is watching, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The ultimatum is simple but severe. If Canada doesn't agree to a new trade deal by August 1st, the tariffs will hit. No exceptions, no extensions. The clock starts ticking, and the pressure mounts on both sides of the border. The US and Canada share one of the world's largest and most complex trading relationships. Every day, billions of dollars in goods, cars, food, raw materials, flow back and forth across the border, fueling jobs and economies in both countries. A 35% tax is like damming a river overnight. Suddenly, the smooth flow of commerce is threatened and uncertainty ripples through factories, farms, and stores on both sides. For Canada, the threat is existential. Key industries, forestry, manufacturing, agriculture, face the prospect of layoffs, plant closures, and economic turmoil. Workers and business owners brace for impact, unsure what tomorrow will bring. For Americans, the effects are immediate and personal. Prices on everything from breakfast foods to building materials start to climb. Families worry about their budgets, and businesses scramble to adjust to the new reality. This isn't just another policy debate, it's a high-stakes gamble. Trump is betting that economic pain will force Canada's hand at the negotiating table, but the risks are enormous for both nations. The deadline is set for August 1st, framed as Canada's last chance to avoid economic disaster. Every day the tension builds, and the world watches to see who will blink first. The clock is ticking, and the consequences could be massive, impacting jobs, prices, and the very fabric of North American trade. Suddenly, the world's friendliest border is ground zero for an economic showdown, with uncertainty looming over millions of lives. The stage is set for a dramatic battle between two longtime allies, one that could reshape the future of trade, diplomacy, and daily life on both sides of the border. Why target Canada? On the surface, the US and Canada share one of the world's largest trading relationships, with billions of dollars in goods and services crossing the border every day. But beneath the friendly handshake, tensions have simmered for years. Trump's team points to three main grievances that, in their view, justify a tougher stance on Canada. First, the trade deficit. Trump claims the US buys too much from Canada and sells too little in return, arguing that this imbalance puts American workers and businesses at a disadvantage. The numbers are hotly debated, but the deficit remains a political flashpoint. Second, fentanyl. The White House accuses Canada of not doing enough to stop opioid trafficking into the US, especially deadly synthetic drugs like fentanyl. However, most data shows the majority of fentanyl actually enters from the southern border, not the north, raising questions about the accuracy of this claim. Critics argue this is more of a political talking point than a real threat, suggesting it's used to rally support rather than address the root of the opioid crisis. Third, dairy. Canada's high tariffs and strict quotas make it tough for American farmers to sell milk and cheese up north. This has been a sore spot for decades, especially in key U.S. dairy states where farmers feel squeezed by foreign competition and government policy. Yet, U.S. government data shows American dairy exports haven't even maxed out the quotas Canada allows, complicating the narrative that Canada is entirely to blame for the struggles of U.S. dairy producers. Add in complaints about Canadian counter-tariffs on U.S. steel and aluminum, measures taken in response to American tariffs, and Trump frames America as the victim of unfair trade practices, fueling a sense of economic grievance. All these points, trade deficits, drugs, dairy, and metals, combine to justify the dramatic 35% tariff threat as an act of self-defense, at least in the eyes of the administration. But the reality, as always, is far more complicated. Canada's response? Calm, united, and unbowed. Prime Minister Carney, on vacation, simply posts that Canada will defend its workers and businesses. Across the country, leaders from all parties echo the message, Canada won't be bullied. Ontario's Doug Ford calls for national unity. BC's David Eby slams Trump's claims as false. Canada signals it's ready to bear the cost to defend its industries. As a gesture, Canada pauses a planned tariff hike on U.S. steel and aluminum, keeping it at 25% during negotiations. This isn't surrender, it's a strategic pause, showing willingness to negotiate, but not weakness. Canada's own set of targeted tariffs remains ready if talks fail. The message, Canada is at the table but won't back down. This tariff threat is the climax of a year-long trade escalation. Trump's second term began with 25% tariffs on Canadian and Mexican imports, citing drugs and migration. By June, he doubled tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum to 50%, prompting swift Canadian retaliation. Canada's counter-tariffs hit politically sensitive U.S. products, raising the stakes. On July 11th, Trump threatens the 35% blanket tariff, escalating beyond metals to all Canadian goods. He extends the negotiation deadline to August 1st, creating a high-pressure window. Canada responds by pausing its own planned tariff hike, keeping counter-tariffs at 25% to allow talks. The next few weeks become a frantic race to avoid an all-out trade war. Both sides brace for the biggest tariff threat in their shared history. While leaders spar, ordinary people pay the price. American shoppers already see higher prices on goods with Canadian materials, cars, electronics, lumber. A 35% tariff would make life even more expensive for millions. U.S. industries relying on Canadian inputs, construction, manufacturing, face layoffs and lost competitiveness. Workers caught in disrupted supply chains risk unemployment. In Canada, the threat is existential. Entire communities depend on U.S. trade. Plant closures and mass layoffs loom if tariffs hit. Canadian workers watch negotiations, knowing their livelihoods are on the line. Retaliatory tariffs hurt American farmers and producers, creating economic pain on both sides. In this trade war, ordinary citizens bear the brunt. In this standoff, words matter as much as actions. Trump's rhetoric is combative. America first, ending the rip-off, projecting strength and resolve. He's used similar tactics globally, slapping tariffs on Mexico, the EU, Brazil, and China. His message, the US won't back down, no matter the pushback. Canadian leaders, by contrast, stress unity and calm. Prime Minister Carney emphasizes defending Canadian interests while staying open to negotiation. Provincial leaders from all parties present a united front calling for Team Canada. The narrative Trump's approach is one-man brinkmanship. Canada's is collective resolve. The world watches as two nations clash, one with bluster, the other with unity. As August 1st approaches, both sides play a dangerous game of brinkmanship. Trump bets the tariff threat will force Canada to concede on trade and dairy. Canada, unified and calm, signals it's ready to endure pain rather than surrender. Their counter-tariffs target Trump's political base, hoping to create U.S. domestic pressure. If Trump backs down, he risks looking weak. If he escalates, Americans face price hikes and supply chaos. For Canada, a trade war could mean recession and mass job losses. Both leaders gamble that their citizens will accept short-term pain for long-term gain. One misstep, and both economies could plunge into crisis. As the August 1st deadline looms, the stakes couldn't be higher. Months of tense negotiations, public statements, and behind-the-scenes maneuvering have all led to this critical moment. Both sides are under immense pressure from their industries, workers, and political supporters, knowing that the decisions made now will have lasting consequences. If no deal is reached, Trump's 35% tariff hits Canadian goods, and Canada retaliates, likely doubling tariffs on U.S. steel and aluminum and expanding the target list. The border, once a symbol of cooperation, could quickly become a flashpoint for economic confrontation, with customs officers bracing for a surge in paperwork and delays. North American supply chains would be severed overnight, sending prices for cars, food, and building materials soaring. Factories could grind to a halt as parts fail to arrive, and consumers would feel the pinch at the checkout counter. The ripple effects would be felt in every corner of both countries, from small businesses to major corporations. Financial markets would reel, and the US-Canada relationship would enter its most hostile phase in decades. Investors would scramble to adjust, and uncertainty could trigger sharp drops in stock prices, affecting retirement savings and business investments alike. Beyond economics, a trade war would shatter trust between two of the world's closest allies, making future cooperation far harder. Diplomatic ties, painstakingly built over generations, could unravel, impacting not just trade but also security, environmental efforts, and cross-border families. There's still a slim chance for a last-minute deal. Maybe Canada concedes on dairy, maybe Trump backs off. Negotiators are working around the clock, searching for common ground, aware that even a small compromise could avert disaster. But the gap is wide, and the rhetoric fierce. Both governments are playing to their domestic audiences, making bold promises and drawing red lines that are hard to erase. The atmosphere is charged, and every word is scrutinized by the public and the press. The world is watching. Will diplomacy prevail, or will two friendly neighbors drag each other into a costly economic conflict? Allies and rivals alike are monitoring the situation, knowing that the outcome could set a precedent for global trade disputes. The answer will shape not just their futures, but the global order. The clock is ticking, and the world holds its breath, waiting to see what happens next.